Hopi Bosson. Kia ora, good evening. You are here with Boys Get Paid, and we are back to basics. Tonight, Rackman, there's no ACC Beer Garden studio. We've been fleeced by the ACC because they're off to some sort of awards, which apparently we're invited to. But hey, we've got work to do and a podcast to do. So, we're back to basics. We're back on StreamYard tonight. Hopefully everybody out there is having a good night. We've also been fleeced of Luke Kenny's because he's been invited to the Goats wedding. Julie obliged down in Palmerston North today, I think, at the races. So, hopefully the lads down there are having a good time. And obviously to the Goat and Chrissy Bambury, his wonderful partner and soon wife-to-be. Congratulations, guys. Hope you have an awesome wedding tomorrow. But yes, we are without Luke. You got me. You got the Rackman. Good to see you, Rackman. How are you, brother?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, mate. I was just doing a bit of admin there. I hadn't used the StreamYard since the Karaka Millions, and the first question that automatically populated was, what's your best bet for the Karaka Millions? So I thought we'd get rid of that because that's well and truly gone.
Mate, every time, like, post the race, your best bet now is always going to win anyway. So you might as well get your best bet for the Karaka Millions and you'll find a winner, unlike
many I would have had a 6-horse multi if I had hindsight.
Yeah, I didn't win one that night. But anyway, yes, do get your best bets in if you're listening in out there. Of course, we've got Matamata racing this weekend. Luke, of course, has gone down south to Invercargill for his best bet. He is a southern man at the moment. So, we won't be running through those fields, but we do have a best bet from Invercargill. We will be running through the listed races at Matamata as well, because there's some awesome racing down there, including the Karaka Millions 2-year-old winner, Ladarada, who is lining up again for Ted. So we're all looking forward to that. Rackman and I will be ripping into that. Get your bets in as we go. We can see your comments coming through here much easier too. So if you're commenting, we can probably bring them up as we go. But firstly, Rackman, we've still got Vegas to get out of the way, but in 3 weeks' time, we've got the Kiwi and we have got a stack of cash to give away.
Yeah, we do, mate. Yeah, it's been it's been sort of bubbling away in the background for a little while here. This idea to try and bring some more excitement to the day. So obviously, I think we've got about 550 tickets in total. I think about 100 or 150 of them are already gone. Getting this news out, I think, is going to all of a sudden really start to ramp up sales. So, I mean, firstly about the event, $160, you get your first couple of drinks and then you get food throughout the day. And obviously you come up into the BGP room as well, which is going to be on the top floor, the same room that we have the Karaka Millions night on. A third of that room is actually going to be sold by Ellerslie as a separate event. So that's going to be separated from us. But as a little bit of a bonus for everyone to come along and increase the energy, I guess, in the room, we've got $15,000 to give away. So $12,500 of cash and $2,500 of bonus cash, literally just for being in the room on the day. And we've done these competitions a few times in the past before. What was that fucking turkey's name? It was... I don't want to get it wrong now, but whatever. What was this? Do you remember what his name was? The guy that that ruined it for everyone.
What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, talking about the competitions. You remember we used to do the 3-2-1 competitions?
This was 3 years ago, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So basically, it's a simple 3-2-1 competition. So at the start of the day, you'll be given a form of some description, and you have to pick one horse in each race throughout the day. If your horse wins, you get 3 points. If it comes second, you get 2 points. If it comes third, you get 1 point. And then you accumulate points throughout the day. And so effectively, whoever has the most points at the end of the day is going to get $10,000 cash. And then $2,500 cash for second. And the third prize is going to be $2,500 bonus cash, which is outrageous. Like, it's a free competition. And it'll be so cool getting near the end as well. Like, when you get to like race 8, race 9, race 10, because we're obviously going to have a leaderboard, we're going to keep everyone updated. Man, you'll be sweating. Like, 10 grand's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
you're going to be wanting to scream your horse home and will it home.
You're right. That is outrageous. Like, how often do you get to go anywhere or to an event that you're 1 in 500? If we should get 500 in the room, but you're 1 in 500 of winning $10,000. Like, that's That's so good. If we were in the ACC beer garden studio, I'd be opening a beer, cheersing you, and having a fucking good time because that, mate, amazing, eh?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, just the thought of it is, it's outrageous money, and it should make for some really entertaining scenes, and you'd hope people would be pretty fired up about winning 10 grand. It's reminiscent of even things like was it Dino that had 2.5 grand each way on did he have it on Private Eye maybe, or no? Think
I
It
thought it
Over
was on
maybe.
One Wish, One Win.
Oh, was it? And it ran third, did it?
I think he put 2.5 on the nose,
No,
2.5 top four.
I think it was Private Eye.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and I think Private Eye ran third.
Yeah.
Because I Wish I Win ran second, didn't it?
This is better than that because it's $10,000 cash that you can do with whatever you like. You can go and buy. I mean, I was going to say a boat, but you probably can't afford a boat with it. You can buy a dinghy. $10,000 is a lot of money. You don't have to pay GST on that, although Luke might need to confirm. Do we need to pay tax on that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not an accountant. He's not here, so we'll just say no.
Now, I've got to go to Vegas with Luke, so him and I might be looking to win that cash. There'll be no rigging, but are we able to win that cash? Because I'm going to need some of it up to Vegas, mate.
Man, I think it's all equal. Like everyone has to hand in all of their picks before the race. And so I remember for a while it was done online through a platform. So potentially we might try and do something similar to that. So then it's literally all, once you've submitted your picks, etc. It's it's done. So we'll just have to figure all that out. But obviously we'll have the emails for everyone that's coming along on the day. So we could always, email it out to all of those people in the morning of or whatever, so they can start making their picks and their selections early. But yeah, that's just unbelievable. $15,000. Additionally, on the day as well, we're going to be doing boosted runners. So all of the lads are going to have ones that we're going to be screwing the numbers out on. So we can really have it feel, it's almost like the Punters Club, but not the Punters Club, because we're going to be taking on the tab and have our own boosted runners. And throughout the day, we're going to be sharing some insights on the performance of them as well, So if we clean the bookies up for 100 grand in the first or something like that, we'll let everyone know. Everyone can get behind that and feel like we're really, we're doing a number on them, because it was, really interesting. They started doing the new podcast for the TAB where they're releasing all the numbers and what's happening on some of those races, and he done him a number on Will He Do It? So that was pretty cool to hear. I'm quite interested in that. I like to see us, taking a bit of cash off them. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is interesting, and they obviously got us back with Gohira on the weekend, but across the season, we've definitely taken them to the cleaners with the Blessed Bet. I think we had a $9 one previously back in the new year, didn't we, just before we went down to Cup Week or something like that. So, you're absolutely right. The entertainer, that was it, mate. That's awesome on the boosted runners. I think I know who yours is going to be on that day, mate. Have you got a futures bet already? Are you holding off for the boosted odds or what?
No, I've had a futures bet already. I can assure you I've had a couple of futures bets for Champions Day already after seeing a horse run around in Australia on Saturday and go quite unlucky. I've backed it for the Kiwi. And after seeing what the Australian done to us in the BCD group sprint, I thought, right, I can't muck around anymore.
So who is it?
Evaporate in the Kiwi.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good winner.
It was a good run on the weekend. It got really unlucky, but I think, the Hayes boys, they know what they're doing. I reckon this horse is pretty classy, and I think it's going to be pretty hard to hold out over here.
Yeah, so what race is that in, mate?
That's in the Kiwi.
Okay, in the Kiwi. What about the Auckland Cup? You got a futures in that?
I do, mate. Yeah, I've smacked Son of Sun. I cannot wait to see this horse go around in the Avondale Cup. I do see they pulled out some futures bets for for the Avondale Cup already, but I think it was about $6 or $8 for the Avondale Cup, and I reckon you might get more on the day. So
For the Avondale Cup.
what's that?
For the
Yeah,
Avondale Cup.
the Avondale Cup. Yeah. And so I think you're going to get more for the Avondale Cup, but I reckon when he comes out and does a job on them in the Avondale Cup and wins by 3 lengths, easing down, he'll be like he'll be into $5 for the Auckland Cup. So the $12 on offer for the Auckland Cup right now, I think, is pretty juicy. I love that horse, and holy moly, if he comes out and wins the Auckland Cup, I will be doing backflips.
You'll go to the Melbourne Cup, won't you, with him? You'll fly him over.
I mean, I'd probably have to fly in the plane with him. I'd have to probably talk to someone. I don't know who's in charge there, but I'd have to get like an honorary ownership or something like that for the day. Surely.
You feed him a few carrots, clean his shit up on the way over.
Make sure I won't be sharing any of Dr. Mike's carrots, that's for sure. Dr. Mark.
They're injected with something. What an absolute legend, mate! Yeah, son of son. I did have a look back at that 1500-meter run at Ellerslie a couple of weeks ago or last week, and yeah, that was real good. And it just loves Ellerslie, so I can see why you're there. Why you're looking at that for a futures bet. I have followed you in. So just in summary for everybody that's listening or people that are just tuning in, we have got $10,000 cash to give away at Champions Day if you come to the BGP room. We've also got $2,500 cash and $2,500 bonus cash. If you come along to the event, tickets are online, $160, all the usual great stuff, a feed, a couple of beers, and some entertainment with great people in the room. There's going to be a betting competition. So, the betting competition to win that cash. So, make sure you get your tickets quickly because you'll be 1 in 500 chance of winning that $10,000 if you back yourself on the punt. Right. We'll keep moving, mates. Last week's racing, we briefly mentioned there the Blessed Bet Kohiroa. Geez, Friday at Tauranga was bloody strange, wasn't it? Just the pattern of racing, and Kohiroa not good going back on a front runner's track.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've just seen Michael House has just commented bet on red. So he's tuning in. Maybe well done, mate. You fucking crushed it today. Good winners down there in the Central Districts. I know the boys made a bit of cash on your bets today, Michael. So well done, mate. Kohiroa. God, that was gross, eh? I think I messaged everyone. I can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I said the first 5 races were won by horses drawn barrier 1. And I didn't want to like jinx it or anything, but I was sort of insinuating like, well, I think we're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
And it proved to be so. Just got way too far back. Literally just like was never getting into it. And horses just weren't running on down the outside. So yeah, we were done. They also went slow as well, which just added to the pain. So yeah, we were pretty cooked pretty early in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulling its head off all the way around and just couldn't get the job done for us, unfortunately. But we will have a Blessed Bet again for this weekend, and it's a bloody good one. Can't wait for that. One of those runners in the first 5 races at Tauranga was mine. I think it was race 5, High Elation. Geez, I thought it was going to win, but not by 20 lengths or whatever the hell it won by. Like, that was another outrageous thing. It was just like at the top of the straight, just ran away from them. It was bizarre just the way the track played. And then the other winner that we had, of course, was Risque Ruler, who at Tanapa on Saturday, I'm not sure what you thought, Dan, but in general, I thought they were winning from the first kind of 6 to 10 in the field. And Risque Ruler, of course, wasn't there. It was well back and smoked them. Like this, that's a good horse.
Yeah, I think he is a really serious horse. He's done that a few times now. Like, he's only gone down a small margin the start before, running second from coming quite far back. I'm not sure. Maybe did he drop back to 1400 and then he went back to 1600 on the weekend or whatever. But he is just he just flies home. Like that was a pretty big field as well. And so he's had to come around like 640 horses, and he looked the winner a long way out. He really did. He looked the winner at about the 150. I was like, oh wow, this is all over. So
He was next to Steely Man with about 200 meters to go. And Steely Man, of course, ran a really good fourth and behind Orchestral last start and just said, see you later, just right past Steely Man and just smashed them. So, oh man, I think I heard they're putting the horse away for a while. So, shit, look forward to seeing it coming back. Losing bets, I thought Phoebe the Buffet was a really good run, but again, just early on in the day, probably got too far back, and we probably want to forget Sir Albert and Rayette's runs. Dan, sorry to say.
Yeah, no, we definitely want to forget Rayette. I like it had the perfect run, but
yeah,
man, I thought Miss Bo Peep was a really good horse. I dropped her after that last run, and that was so dumb of me because her 2 wins prior to that was so impressive, and like I just on the eye, she looked so good in those 2, but she was so bad in that 7th that I was like, oh, like maybe she's just not quite that good. But she just came out, went to the front, and done them in. So yeah, Rayette I thought would have run on at least for top 3 after that run, but yeah, maybe also had a bit too much racing and probably needs the paddock. Maybe. I don't know. It definitely didn't have, the finish that it had at start before. So
yeah, and it's been running well. It might just be one of those horses when everything clicks, it's worth following. So I'm sure we'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, Luke said Sir Albert probably just needs a bit of a longer straight, but fuck, I thought that was going to win that on Saturday too. So that was a shame, but we got obviously the 2 best bets home, and I'm sure we'll go 5 from 5 this week, including the blessed bet. So we'll get to that. Keep your comments coming in, everybody. We'll get to the Matamata races. We've got some punts to throw out and best bets coming up later on, of course. Dan, the Herbie Dyke. I've got to admit, I didn't take Luke's word for La Creek first up, and I still bet on La Creek because I just thought that La Creek might be getting to a level which is just better than all of these horses in New Zealand now. And unfortunately, I was wrong because El Vencedor might be that horse. Hey, fuck, that was impressive.
Yeah. I was the same as well. I thought that they've just managed La Creek really well this season, and I thought maybe this was going to be the season where she was going to break through and start winning, barring Snazzy Tavi, because I think Snazzy Tavi is the best horse in New Zealand at the moment. So her being out, I thought, right, well, I think La Creek, they've managed her really well. She gets a good surface. She's not been going on rain affected going. From all accounts, her feet have been really good. So, yeah, I was the same as well. But in hindsight now, when you go back and have a look at the demolition job that El Vencedor done at Allersley the week before, you're like, well, how did I not back it? That was stupid. And I don't think I'll be making that mistake again come Champions Day.
Yeah, you're right. Carrying 61 that day at LZA. And then, of course, Ladies Man was really good, and Whangaihu was very good finishing off in that race as well. That looks like
was huge.
Yeah, huge, eh?
That horse to go from winning like a Martin Cup or whatever it was to, like literally coming from last. Yes, it got an easy run through the inside, but still came from last and powered home. Like, looks like a nice horse.
It goes to show, that like in these races, even these Group 1s, you see it time and time again, top 3, top 4, these horses that step up in grade but are real fit and can run the distance. Like you see it in the Livermore quite often, actually, early on in the season. Those 2,000 meters, 2,100 meters, these horses just, there you go, Dan, there's one for you, mate, come through from Scott Kearns, love that. Yeah, just these really fit horses. You can quite often get good money on them to run top 4, and they'll be finishing well.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. Well, that one horse that Scott Kearns just mentioned, I got $7 a place on Karaka Millions night. I was pretty happy about that.
That's a good bet. That was a good bet, mate. Nice. The BCD Group Sprint, the bloody Aussies came over here. I think there was some confidence, particularly from you, Dan, just from our chat last week, but also I think just from the racing community in general in New Zealand, that New Zealand sprinters are up to there or thereabouts with the Aussie sprinters after what Imperatrice has gone over there and done, but we might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened with Grail Seeker. Like, she clearly underperformed. I'm not sure if it was the track and maybe she just needs a little bit more juice out of the ground or what. But she clearly didn't deliver what she can. So I'm willing to give her a forgive, because I think had she raced like she did at Trentham, she probably, I'm not saying she would have beat Hair to Shock, but it would have been a close finish. Because Hair to Shock was pretty bloody impressive. I thought Savagely was a little bit unlucky not to get clear running. I don't think he would have won the race, but I think he would have been able to run a clear second. And not really many other excuses. Like Hair to Shock, just done a job on them. Really done a job on them.
Yeah, I heard Stephen Hunt saying that Grail Seekers, this is before the race, that Grail Seekers ratings from the Telegraph, and actually the race before that it won, I think it's won too this year, are better than any of those other horses, including Here to Shock, are better than what they had ever produced. So, like you say, yeah, I think Grail Seeker probably can beat that field. And then I heard the jockey afterwards just saying the ground was too hard, which is yeah, I don't know what to feel about that, but yeah, I'm sort of
races getting abandoned because it's too wet. Now it's too hard. Change the feed.
Yeah. I'm not exactly like how do we not know that? Like, so it was only a good 4. It's not like it was a fast 2 or something like that. So I don't know. And Australian track's going to be hard. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, forgive for me as well. Whitehack's a horse that just keeps on coming home really well for nowhere, or maybe 4th.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating horse. Like,
yeah,
it seems to have all the ability in the world, but it also seems like it can only race one way, like go to the back and fly home. And so it almost needs like all the perfect conditions for it to win really well, like almost like when it won the Railway a couple years ago, like almost all the conditions worked perfectly and went well for it. Like a few things happened. I think it was was it Bonnie Lass that maybe got knocked over halfway up the straight, and then it managed to get through and get up the inside and fly home and win that one. That was a really impressive win back then. But yeah, I don't know. I'm out. I'm out on this horse. I can't catch it. I love the horse, and I think it's a really good horse. I'm out on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely never betting on it again. And I'm happy to, well, I'm not happy to see it win, but yeah, I'm with you. And I found these sprint races so hard this year. Like, I've just not gone close. Like, I was on Alabama Lass along with the Punters Club, and missed out on that. Missed out on Crocetti, obviously, winning that. But I found them so hard because, like, horses like Luberon, it's just bizarre to me. Like, Luberon was nowhere in the Telegraph, like, looked like it shouldn't have even been in the race. Then goes to Karaka, the Karaka Millions for the Railway, 3 wide the entire trip and misses by like a length. Yeah. And then again at Tarapa, it's just nowhere. It's like, how do you bet on these races? It's so, the sprint races are so hard.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I know they have, I think it's called the King's Plate or something.
Yes.
On Champions Day. What I was told is that Crocetti is aiming for that, and that's where it's going. Okay. It's going to be interesting to see what other horses turn up in a race like that, because it's obviously, it's not, I think it's 250 grand or something, which is nothing to turn your nose at, but it's not the 700,000 or 800,000 or yeah, like it'd be interesting to see if they take what they do with Crocetti from there as well. Should Crocetti come out and win a race like that, do they roll the dice and have a crack at Australia with him? Yeah, I don't know.
And Bonnie Lass is obviously retired too. So.
Yeah, I feel like our sprinters are really going up a notch and going up a level. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we meet the Aussies, but we perform and they perform. Not we have off performances and we don't necessarily get to see the best of our sprinters against them.
Absolutely, mate. And it definitely looks like there's a new crop of sprinters like Babylon Berlin and Sacred Satona haven't been as good as they have been in previous seasons. I feel for Babylon Berlin. I really wish she'd won a Group 1. She was just so unlucky with Imperatrice and Levante for the last 2 seasons, and now just doesn't look like the horse that she was. So, yeah, there's a new crop that are coming through, and, looking forward to seeing, hopefully, them step up and keep on trying to be consistent. But, speaking of a new horse, mate, as well, before we get to Matamata, Like a Lucy, probably don't need to say too much because everyone's seen this horse, and shit, it's a good horse.
Yeah, mate, I don't know how much Aussie Kerr paid for this thing, but I reckon he's paid a few bob, eh? She just always looked like even though, she didn't get all the luck down the straight, like she sort of needed to get out. I actually never thought she was going to get beaten. I just felt like she's just traveling, like she's just going to kick she's going to kick him out of the way and then just kick their heads in as she goes on by. And that's what she did in the end. She's going to be hard to stop in the Oaks.
Incredibly hard. Like she'll probably be paying $1.30. It's like you say, she was all boxed up, but it was 200 meters to go. You're still going, oh, there's nothing to worry about here. As soon as the gap came, it took about 3 meters and she was ahead of them. It was incredible.
Yeah, she's pretty good, eh?
And then, mate, can Tuxedo beat Willie Do It in the Derby? That was impressive. And I see it over 1,600 meters. Willie Do It, I think, has beaten Tuxedo, but not by a huge distance, albeit it was 1,600 meters. But Tuxedo just smashed them.
Yeah. Can Henny Kaha beat both of them?
Well, that's the other horse, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like after that, it's Willie Do It and Tuxedo, though. Do you?
Yeah. Well, look, Tuxedo's not bred to go 2,400 meters. But like 3-year-olds can get away with it, 3-year-olds can beat their own age group. But like on the eye, Willie Do It last start to beat up the older horses in a rating 75 the way he did. Like he did get all the favors. Like, he got the run of the race. He got up the inside uninterrupted, ran away from them, done really well. But he looks pretty good, eh?
Yeah, he does. I'd still be with Willie Do It. But you make a really, really good point, actually, that the Derby is normally won by a genuine stayer. We've seen like Dragon Leap, who was so good over 1,600 meters and 2,000 meters, but still ran really well, couldn't quite get the Derby. La Creek was the same, I think. You need a genuine stayer, and Willie Do It probably does look like that.
The other thing is as well, I don't know if you remember, but there's been a few years where it wasn't Dragon Leap, I think. Dragon Leap was the hot favorite. I'm pretty sure it came out and won the Avondale Guineas and then didn't stay, ran fourth, came out a very, very hot favorite. Yeah. There's no saying that Willie Do It's going to stay the 2,400. It hasn't run over the 2,400. Like, you can look at a horse and you can, say it's breeding and its scope and its size and the way it walks and, its build is going to stay the 2,400, but you don't know until you know. And there's been multiple Derby favorites that haven't stayed the trip, and you'd never know until you know. So, like as much as I think that this, we've got a short price favorite and a lot of people might think that this Derby is done. I think you can always have a look through the fields and see if you can find a genuine stayer, because you just never know. You get these horses like Asterix that are genuine stayers and they just love the 2,400. They just can't quite do what some of the other horses do. But I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. Here's Dane's giving us one here. Tuxedo ran a quicker time than Alvencedor on the same day. Willie Do It beat Tuxedo when they met, but Willie had the perfect ride and Tuxedo done a bit of work outside the leader. They'll be equal favorites on the day. Henny Kaha looks like more of a natural stayer. It's going to be an awesome race. Yeah, well, that sort of sums it up. I still think there might be something else in that field as well that could surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. There always is, isn't there? I was just actually looking at 2024. Antrim Coast ran second. Do you remember, like Antrim? Like, where did that horse come from? It's out of nowhere. And there's horses like was it Golden Century that were running along and behind them on Saturday. Casimiro, even I reckon, has been finishing quite well. And then what was that horse down at Trentham? Skipper's Canyon. Is that a 3-year-old? Don't think so. Yeah, getting carried away here, mate.
Yeah, the Derby. It's going to be awesome. I'm fired up with that game. Champions Day is going to be so good.
Mate, I just want to win the $10,000. I couldn't give a fuck who wins on the track. I want the 10,000. Nah, of course, I agree, man. The racing's going to be outstanding. Can't wait to be there. If you've just joined us, we have $15,000 to give away at Champions Day at the BGP event for the punting competition. Get your tickets online now. Check out the BGP app for details. Right, keep your best bets coming in. We have seen some coming in. Glad to hear a few people listening in and some bets coming through. Let us know. We're still giving away the $100 every Saturday as well to one of your best bets that comments as well. So yeah, it is definitely worth getting in, and we've hit a few this year, which has been bloody good. Righto, mate. On Saturday we've got the Matamata Slipper, the Matamata Breeders, the Lisa Chittick Champagne Stakes, and the Kaimai Stakes. 4 very good races at Matamata. So let's start with the 2-year-old races because, yeah, we probably won't need too long with these, judging by the markets, mate. The Matamata Slipper, Return to Conquer, is a pretty hot favourite.
Yeah. I reckon they might take this horse to Australia. It's very rare that, our 2-year-olds go over to Australia. Every now and then we take a couple, but I don't even remember the last time we had a 2-year-old in Australia that was actually competitive. Do you remember?
Nah.
No, I don't think it happens. Return to Conquer looks like it could be one of those horses.
Have we even had a 2-year-old that's gone there?
We probably have, but I couldn't tell you.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure, and someone might be able to tell us in the comments, but I'm pretty sure maybe, someone maybe has even won the Golden Slipper, potentially a Kiwi trainer, but I don't know 100%.
Sort of State didn't go over there, eh?
No.
Yeah, well, Teako did say earlier on in the season that this could be a horse for Australia, but they were probably a little bit more wary because they said the same thing about Move to Strike last year. And that took until about April to really do anything, didn't it?
Yeah, and then come out and won the Matamata size produce or something, wasn't it?
Manawa 2, I think it was last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you on Return to Conquer, mate?
Yeah. I think it's going to be too classy. The small field probably makes it a little bit interesting to see what they do. There we go. Polar Spirit for Graham Rogerson, Kiwi Train Slipper winner, not a New Zealand
Went on
horse.
to Hong Kong after that.
Yeah, won everything. I don't think Return to Conquer's a Kiwi horse either. I think that was an Australian purchase, maybe.
Aussie purchase.
Maybe, yeah.
Good on you, Zane.
Yeah, what's that?
I said, good on you, Zane. You're on fire tonight. Legend.
Yeah, he is on fire tonight. Yeah. No, so I just think Return to Conquer is gonna be too good. Doesn't matter if he settles near the back or goes forward. I think he's gonna be too good.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon these 2-year-olds are still pretty even this year. I don't think there's any real standout, but that might be it. I think He Who Dares won on debut in pretty good time at Whanganui and wasn't really ridden too hard. So Craig Grill's on for Teako. That could spoil the party, but yeah, it's pretty hard race to bet into, to be fair, right? Matamata Breeders, mate, Lada Rada has come out, I think, a $1.80 favourite. Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, I'll put $1.85 now.
$1.85. So impressive in the Karaka Millions, eh?
Yeah, she was like, I watched that a few times now to try and figure out what happened, but she just jumped to the front and she was just too good. Like even over the last 100, she was just too strong. She was really brave, fought them off, and won really impressively. So she's a pretty tidy horse. Obviously, Ted's got a bit of that as well, and would love for him to continue the ride that he's on and pick up a few more wins. Yeah, I think she's pretty good. I'm interested to see how this Maricopa Falls goes because its first start was really impressive. Second start, I thought was a little bit lackluster. Was that at Trentham, maybe, that second start? Yeah, it was. And don't know. It's had a little bit of a break. It's come back. Maybe it'll go all right. And then even this, to cap it all, I thought was a pretty impressive winner last start as well, which was at Trentham. But it beat Intention and Abacus. That form is not the Karaka Millions form. So yeah, like Lada Rada. Born to be Royal, 19s into 16s already.
Why do you recommend this?
Yeah. You should go back and have a look at its first. Have you seen its first start?
I have, yes, I have, and it was very good.
It looks like a really nice horse.
Yeah, one of the lads may have it as their best bet tonight at $16, which was pretty exciting, and you might be able to choose or guess which one of the lads it is. They love a little bit of value, and $16 is some serious value. So, yeah, it is very good. I'm with you. I hope that Lada Rada, for Ted, I do hope that Lada Rada does keep going the way that it's going. But I think, Ted and his crew of owners aren't under no illusions that it's bloody, even just to win that 2-year-old Karaka Millions was something amazing. So you just never know what will happen there.
That horse has done the job for them. If it doesn't win another race, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously you want it
over
from yeah.
But I'll be following the lads into Born to be Royal, and I liked Tale of the Gypsy's first run, and I'm prepared to forgive it second up. Horses second up sometimes just don't go good. Not traditionally, 2-year-olds might be slightly different, but I can't bet on Lada Rada at $1.80, but I'll have a go at Born to be Royal and Tale of the Gypsy. What are you going to bet on, mate?
I'll probably do a Quinella there at race. I'll Quinella Lada Rada and Born to be Royal.
Beautiful. That'll pay a bit, will it?
Yeah, well, the Quinella's not out yet. You can only do the same race multi if they're both to run top two. We'll pay $9.75.
What's that?
$9.75
for the Quinella.
Same race multi for them both to run top two.
That's pretty good money.
Yeah.
Shit, worth a bet. All right, Thomas, we will get to trust in you because we're going to be talking about the Kaimai Stakes. Next up, though, the Lisa Chittick Champagne Stakes, mate. Man, I spent a fair amount of time going up and down this field, and I found that you could make a case for a lot of them, but the most exciting thing for me is to see Legato back, as I'm sure it's the most exciting thing for a lot of people in this race, because Legato clearly is one of New Zealand's best horses going around. So to see her back is awesome. But you might not like it for Saturday.
Yeah, well, even listening to Ken Kelso's interview on one of the shows, he was playing it down like, I'd just be happy to see her running on, because I reckon they'll target the breeders on Champions Day, which is worth $1 million, I think, which is outrageous.
Wow.
Something I think it's worth a lot of money. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be, yes, that's interesting. I would love to see her just come out, kick their heads in, and win by 6 lengths, because that's exciting and good for New Zealand racing, because it means we've got Legato back. She's a serious contender in Australia. And we don't have a huge amount of them at the moment that we think could go over to Australia and take them on. She's one if she's at the top of her game. So don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love for her to see her go out. But the $2.60 out to $2.90, I mean, this shows me that there's probably not a huge amount of confidence. So in a race like this, I think I would prefer to maybe have a look around at a little bit more value. If I was looking around at value, there's a few things that I'm looking at here. Provence, I'm not sure stepping back to the 1400, but Group 1 winner last start, how can you drop it? Coming back to a fillies and mares race, paying $15, drifted 12s to 15s and $4.20. Aquarello, I thought wasn't terrible in the 4-year-old race. She got pushed all the way back to last by behind. Yeah, it was Conasana and Purview, and still ran on and made up ground to run 6. So I thought that wasn't terrible. The negative for Aquarello at the moment is the barrier drawn 13. I think is going to make it tough for her. And Purview ran a head bobbing nose second to Conasano, who was the winner of that race. Wild to me that's paying $15 and $4.20 from barrier 6. And Irish Legacy is the other one that I see. But after going through every single horse in the field and saying that I like them all, I would probably I would rest my case with Purview, I reckon, at $15 and $4.20. Maybe even
Really?
4. Yeah, I think so. That run was so good in Ellerslie. It literally only lost by a head bob. Yeah, I just think that the odds are great. This is an outstanding field.
Yeah, it is. You're getting $3 top 4 for in preview, and in preview, I mean, its last 5 starts 2, 8, 4, 4, 2. So it's running the top 4, the last 4 out of 5 starts.
Yeah, so I'd have a little bit on the nose and then savers on the top 4.
Yeah. Delio also obviously on Karaka Millions night was very good, beating a good field. Moving Melody, if it gets into the race, could be good. Kelly Coe's won a good recent race. Like Lux Libertas has beaten Maratili Molly, who's a Group 1 winner. Like there's just form coming in left, right, and centre. Skew Whiff was average last start. I probably will never bet on Skew Whiff ever again. But like it's an outstanding field, like you say.
Yeah, this could be easily be a Group 1.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe they upgrade the status next year, make it a Group 3.
Well, yeah, the Lisa Chick, absolutely, what a legend of the humans. So we might as well make it a Group 1. At least bump it up to a Group 3. I mean, it's attracted a good field, like you say. I hope Legato does come out and win, like for all the reasons that you mentioned. I agreed on Aquarello. Like I can't understand. You're probably right that it's the barrier draw, but I can't understand why it's paying $27. Like you say, it was held up to the 150 in the Westbury Classic. It beat Orchestral the start before that. Okay, Orchestral was first up and probably not fully wound up, but beat it. And then it was only just beaten by Provence to start before, who was on the way up towards its 1600 meter Group 1 win. So I reckon top 4 at that, $4.20. That's pretty good money if Aquarello can get a good run. But so I'd be betting around Aquarello, and I'm with Irish Legacy actually. I don't know. There's something about this horse that it may be very, very good. And drawn barrier to 55 kgs. George Rook is riding out of his skin. I like the money there, $7.50 and $2.60 for the place.
I reckon you could play like a first 4. Man, look at the money for Frost Fair, 23s into 11.
Oh yeah, I think this is a bit too much of a step up for Frost Fair. I think maybe next season.
Yeah, that's a big move though. And even Moving Melody, 31s into 12s. Man, they just love punting these horses, I reckon if you play sort of some exotics for trifecta first 4s around horses like Legato, Aquarello, Province, and Purview, and Irish Legacy, you might pick up 1 or 2 at really, really juicy odds that could really spice up a trifecta or a first 4. I think that's probably how I would play a race like this as well, is like try and have a couple of those ones that I think can run a race and just hope that maybe 2 of them do, and you go, oh baby, here we go. We got a $23 winner and a $7 third, and all of a sudden it's a $1,500, $2,000 trifecta.
Yeah, you're right, mate. There's money to be won in this race for sure if you can find the right horses. Geez, we're doing well here, mate. 7:48, and we've still got one race to come, and the best bets, and some others too. So we better keep on moving. Get your best bets coming in, guys. We'll get through some of them very, very shortly. Let's round out with the Kaimai Stakes, which is race 8, and again, a few here that could probably get the job done, mate. Oh. Look at the move for Trust in You.
Yeah, it's been pumped, $10 into 650. There's obviously a little bit of confidence around, and it's a really good horse. And this sort of race sets up well for it, to be fair. Drawn barrier 2, Nabber on board. Yeah, this seems like a race sort of set for Trust in You. Yeah, there's a bunch of other horses in here that I think do have a chance as well. I think Wolfgang maybe stepping back from the 3,200. I would maybe swerve. But I also said that I would swerve it in the 3,200 and it came out and kicked their heads in. So what do I know what I'm talking about? Lochinora, I thought was a little bit disappointing last start. Like I felt like I probably should have won that last race. And I'm probably talking through my pocket a little bit when I say that I can't do it again. Doddle always seems to just keep running on and is probably a horse that could just be running on as well. But I'm going to spec one at odds here. Ling Zhongxiang Feng. It's drifted from 16s out to 27s. I reckon you'll get about 35s or 40s on the day. So if you're a sicko, don't punt it yet. Let it get out to 40s, and then we can all have a crack on Saturday. I don't think it's done anything wrong this campaign. It's only had one start, I think, over the 2,000 meters and didn't do very well last preparation. But in saying that as well, I think it was like right at the end of its campaign. So I'm thinking that this horse is maybe ready. I think it's really grown another leg. And I think with a good tempo, drawn barrier 8, if it just gets a nice run, this beautiful grey might be able to get over the top of them at huge odds. Hopefully it drifts to $50 or something. I'd love to have a part of that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I can see what you're thinking there because, 2.2 lengths off Glamour Tycoon last start, carrying 58.5 kgs. That's a big drop in weight. And it ran pretty well there too. So I can see what you're thinking there, eh? Could be a good bet, mate. I'm going to have a go. I already have had a bet on Trust in You at $12 and $3.50. I just thought last start over 1,500 meters, it was probably what you'd expect it to be, just sort of plugging away and running 4 or 5 lengths off them. But the race before that and the Rich Hill Mile was huge over 1,600 meters. And this horse last year over 2,000 meters plus was just so good. So, yeah, stepping back up to that distance. $12 for me was great value, and now you can only get $6.50. So, obviously some other people were thinking the same thing. Sassy Lass doesn't have a jockey, mate. Do you have any idea what's going on there? You've spoken to Andrew Scott this week?
No, mate. No, I haven't bothered them at all.
Yeah, okay, mate. And one of the lads have got a best bet out of that as well. Ted's best bet is in that race too, so we will get to that. Right, some best bets. Errol Rich, Cool Jakey at Ramwick. Matty Hill, the great commentator that he is. Flemington Race 8, 3-year-olds to trifecta the race. Switzerland Growing Empire, and Traffic Warden's back. Traffic Warden, that's nice. Brad Agar, Ramwick Race 3, United States. Thomas Morgan, any thoughts on Trust in You? Like it. And there were a couple back up the top of the book. Scott Kearns, Moss Invader in Race 8 at Matamata. Cypher in the first for Parata Brett Johnson. You were talking about that horse this morning, weren't you, Rackman?
Cypher, yeah.
And then in preview, Scott Murray is going to follow you in preview, or you are going to follow Scott Murray into preview on Saturday, mate. So, yeah, thanks for your comments. There will be a $100 bonus bet going to somebody on Saturday that the lads will find. Before we crack on with a few horses in Australia and our best bets, mate, is there anything else that you like this week outside of those races?
No, not really, mate. I think there is actually one that's going to be taking on the Kiwi fillies in Australia, but I don't like it fresh up. But I do like it second and third up, and it's a horse called Too Darn Discreet. I'm not sure if you remember this one, but it was on Oaks Park's last campaign. I think it won 3 in a row through the spring, or maybe even 4 in a row. It's taking on Kitty Flash and Captured by Love. I don't think this week's its week, but I think just watch its run. Just see how it goes. And if you see any glimmer of it running on or looking like it's going to improve, just hammer it next time.
Too Darn Discreet. All right. We'll have a crack at that, mate, for sure. Okay. Chris Dell, the postman, reckons he's got a wedding gift for the GOAT and Chrissy tomorrow. I don't know if we've trusted Chris Dell too many times, but he did get Russ Risco ruler home last week. So perhaps we've got to back the lad. Chris, wedding present for the GOAT from Chris the Postman Dell. Tomorrow, New Plymouth Race 1 Hannahman. He rode it in track work on Monday and reckons this horse is huge. I think George Rook's riding it tomorrow. Is that what we said, Dan? Or is it Kevin Stott?
Harry Grace.
Neither of the above. Harry Grace, righto. Okay, New Plymouth Race 1 Hannahman from Chris the Postman Dell. He will be having a fantastic weekend if that one gets in. There's obviously had a bet on himself because the money's come in. And then somebody's mentioned Cypher Matamata Race 1. My old mate Moschino's in that on Saturday. But there's another horse in there called Amya Star who was so impressive on debut at Tarapa. So can't wait for that race. I'll be backing my Moschino again. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see Cypher and Amya Star running pretty well there. Over in Aussie, mate,
Stephen Marsh one in there as well, sorry. There's a real nice Stephen Marsh. Nice Stephen Marsh horse in that race as well.
Was that Cypher?
No, it was that's
Dramatic
a hot
Miss.
field. Yeah.
It's a good race.
Didn't really beat much, but looked good on the eye. I reckon that's a box him up.
Nice. Okay, Dean has got some best bets. Race 5, Jolly Star, into race 7, Lady Shenandoah. And Zane, I mean, he's been on fire tonight, and he's just given me confidence in my best bet as well. So I'll wait to read that one out. But Joel's got a Matamata race 8. Sassy Lass, he doesn't have a jockey. In Australia, we've got, some of the big names. We've got race 3, Molly Bloom, first up for Chris Waller and James McDonald. We've got Savoir Fair, race 4. We've got Wild Night in race 6, Go on Hazy and the lads. And then race 9, we've got Captured by Love and Kitty Flash. Shit, that's some good horses for us over there, eh?
Yeah, Captured by Love second up out of the Railway, and Kitty Flash was second up out of the first race on the night, I think at Karaka Millions night. So very interesting to see how they go. Kitty Flash, I think, was 14s or 16s or 23s or something outrageous for Saturday. And I thought, that I'm going to probably have a bet just for the price. I can't not have a bet at that price. Captured by Love, $4.80, and then Kitty Flash, $23 and $5.50. It's been backed. It was 34s. That's what I seen. I was like, 34s is disrespectful. That's a pretty good horse.
It is a good horse. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe they were just looking at its last race and missed everything else. But Molly Bloom first up with James McDonald, mate. 650, 215, you reckon? She's not really done much in Australia yet, eh?
No, nothing at all. I need to see her run a race.
Yeah. And what about Wild Night?
I think she went okay in Queensland, but then, it's done nothing.
Yeah. Wild Night, $12. Yeah, hasn't been great in Aussie either.
I'll have a crack at Wild Night for sure.
Yeah, I will too. Good luck to you.
He has the upside and the ability, like if he puts it all together, he could come out and win.
He's fresh too. First up, he was first up in that run, I think. Oh no, second up is where 3 from 3.
Yeah, but he won his fresh up run as well, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't think it was much of a field, but absolutely. Good luck to Tiako, Chris Waller, I suppose, with Molly Bloom now, and Andrew Forsman with Kitty Flash, of course. Sweet, mate. Well, I've got the blessed bets from last week. I've still got us getting $2.30 for Will He Do It, which is actually 2 weeks ago on my run sheet here. So you might have to do the blessed bet in the harness hit, mate.
Yeah, no, that's all good, mate. Yeah, blessed bet this week, Matamata. Meeting 2, race 9, Moss Invader. Outstanding run last start behind Orchestral and Mary Shan, coming from absolutely dead set last on the corner, not getting the clearest run in the straight, boomed home, ran third. I think it should be taking care of this field. Gets a 2 kilo claim, $3.40 out to $4. Moss Invader is the blessed bet. The harness hit Addington on Friday. We're going for 3 in a row. Can you fucking believe it? I'm getting animated about this because it's been a tough road.
Mate, your eyes just like
but we are going for 3 in a row, and we've gone for top 3 again. Addington, race number 10, a horse called Crusher Lou. We wanted to run top 3. He's still learning his craft and what the racing game is all about, but looks to be the best horse in the race and a horse with promise. Last week wouldn't have beat the winner, but pushed him hard over the line and had plenty more in the tank to give. A slight drop bake on paper, and I think it's a nice hope. So that's actually also the Scanman's best bet, which is Crushaloo. 3 in a row, top three. $1.60 out to $2.10. So they've given us extra 50 cents on a $1.60 shot to just double your money. It's basically just a free throw at the stumps. Double your cash, throw it into something else.
Fantastic. Yeah. Scanman's best bet. Gamble responsibly, of course. I'd actually forgotten to get a bet on the Blessed Bet today, and I'm very relieved to have just gone in and seen the $4 is still there. I'm surprised by that because I don't think it'll start $4. So, yeah, I just got my money on that too. Mate, what's Markham's best bet? Let's go through the harness.
Yeah, Markham's best bet is Addington race number 2, Better Be Sharp. It's a consistent pacer, dropping back in grade tonight after excellent placings behind Midnight Mickey and 5 Crowns in its last 3. A bit of luck required from the inside of the second row draw, but is more than capable of winning this with an inch of fortune or inch of good fortune. Addington meeting 8, race number 2, Better Be Sharp.
Nice, mate. Gasso's Gas. He's found us some value on Friday night at Addington. Race 9, Royden Muscle paying $9 and $2.90. Excellent last start, just getting held up at a crucial stage. But once Claire made up many lengths, gets into a very winnable grade and is 4th run back from spelling, ready to salute. The Gasso's best bet, race 9, Royden Muscle. Right, Fitzy, mate.
Fitzy's best bet Sunday, Motocarara race 11. He's gone very short and sharp here. Almighty Clever, ace draw after a run of bad luck. Should get a good trip and be in the money. Almighty Clever.
Nice.
The odds are not out for Motocarara on Sunday yet, but as soon as they do, get on to Fitzy's best bet.
Good on you, Fitz. Not the Friday fill-up, it's the Sunday session.
What do you got, mate?
I'm going to Matamata race 5, First Dance. Zane has given me a lot of confidence in the comments that this is a good best bet. And of course, it's an omen bet for Chrissy and the GOAT, who are going to be having their first dance tomorrow afternoon. So it just seems fitting. First dance tomorrow into first dance on Saturday. I really like this horse. I've been following it all season. Was finishing really strongly last 2 starts, not far away from Dealt With, who went on to run a placing in the Kanaka Millions 3-year-old race. Moving Melody and Vegas Queen before that, who have run top 3 and top 4 in stakes races since. This looks a bit of an easier field. It beat Hard Rocker last start. It was probably its biggest challenger, and then Livid Skies in the race as well. But first up, I think it'll be flashing home in sort of top 4 Livid Sky. So, yeah, I think First Dance, Warren Kennedy, Lance Noble should be settling in a good spot and just getting over the top of them at about $4.
Nice one, mate. Well, talking about the GOAT's wedding, mate, there's going to be all the royals from BGP in the racing community there. We've got Beltsy, Chemies, and even I think I've seen Rhino down there as well. So all the royals from BGP are down there. They'll be getting stuck in. And talking about royals, the GOAT's best bet is in race number 7, Born to be Royal. He's taken on the hot favourite, did enough on debut to suggest that it could surprise in this, should get a cozy run in behind the stablemate, and if the gaps present, it can win. Worth a crack at the juicy odds. That's Matamata race 7, Born to be Royal, the GOAT's best.
We've got another Scotch bonnet on our hands, don't we? $16. Fantastic. Good on you, GOAT. Righto. Ted, his best bet is in race 8, Nigella Lane, $6 and $2.15. Has been in good recent form, winning 2 of last 5, including a 4.5 length win at Te Aroha 2 starts ago. Last start, second at Haraniko and the Breeders was a top effort as she was last at the 600 metres before charging home late and running the fastest last 800. First go past 1600, so that will be interesting. But if she gets the distance, she could prove hard to beat. Nigella Lane, race 8, as Ted's best bet.
Nice one, mate. My best bet is Moss Invader, which is the blessed bet. So the lads have put a little bit of faith in my lap and said, Dan, you have a crack this week. To be honest, mate, I could stop winks at $1.16 the way I've been tipping recently. So hopefully this is the form turnaround and Moss Invader is going to come out and kick their heads in.
I think this is the one, mate. This is the one. $4. I'm tucking into that. Can't wait. Righto. Like we said, Luke as well, his best bet. He is staying down south. He absolutely loves it. Race 9, Sestina. We are rolling the dice where they roll their R's. This horse was beaten by Quintavel who won again next start before stepping up over a bit more ground and running third. Back to the mile and fit, enjoys the track and the distance as well as a firm surface. We'll need the luck of the Irish from barrier 19, but we get Samantha. All I do is win on board to navigate our way to $11 odds on the Surge and a top 4 saver. Good value from Luke at the end of the day down there at Invercargill. I don't know where he finds these horses, mate. I've never heard of it. I've heard of Quintabel, but I just don't watch it closely enough down there, right?
Yeah. I don't know, mate. He's a southern man. He loves it down there. I just got a notification as well. Strathay's running around on Saturday for Chris Waller fresh up. Doesn't go any good fresh up, so I'd swerve it this week. But you watch out, this horse is going to pick up a couple.
Well, the big races in Australia are starting to pop back up, aren't they? So no wonder Strathay's back out to find some cash.
Watch out for it in the Australian. Is it the Australian? Not the Australian Cup. What's it? Is it the New South Wales? No, Sydney. Whatever. We'll see it over 3,200. It'll be winning. Nah, no chance in the Auckland Cup. Son of Sun will be winning by 3 lengths.
I hope you're right. I do hope you're right. Right, mate. Well, this has been a little bit different. I'm sorry not to have caught up with you in person tonight, but we did see each other this morning, so that was good. And hopefully everybody's enjoyed it as well. Slightly different for us, but good to catch up and run through all the racing, mate. What's on this weekend? You going to Matamata?
No, I go to the rugby. Going to go to full-time sports bar, actually, in the afternoon. Full-time sports bar in the afternoon to watch the races and then head to Eden Park.
That'll be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be a great afternoon, mate. Yeah, the only thing with not being in the studio with you and Kimmy's is I can't run off to the bathroom. So I'm sitting here struggling. So I might have to leave you, mate. We might have to just cut this off. We've been going for an hour and 5 minutes.
Let's close it, mate. Thanks very much to everybody who has been tuning in. Good luck if you're having a crack this week. As always, gamble responsibly, but enjoy yourself while doing it. And we'll catch you here next Thursday, hopefully back in the ACC Beer Garden studio. Good luck on the punt.